Yo, what is good, everybody? Welcome back to a new video. Today we're doing, well, you guys know what it's about. We're doing the Week 5 NFL predictions. Already 5 weeks into the NFL, guys. It's crazy. It's crazy already. What a wild season it's been for these NFL teams this year. And, yeah, and fun fact, we're going to get stopped by Detroit. Hopefully not. But, yeah, that's the moral of the story. So we're just going to be doing these Week 5 predictions. Before we actually get into these Week 5 predictions, I got to do some mentions here. Bye week teams are going to be the Atlanta Falcons, Bears, Packers, and Steelers. These are teams that we're not going to be talking about this week. We don't usually talk about teams that are on a bye week, so the bye weeks have officially started for these NFL teams. And, yeah, so those are just teams that we don't talk about. So then, yeah. Moving on from that, though, the first game we got Thursday Night Football, you got the 49ers at the Rams. Well, Purdy got injured again, and before that, they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars, which was honestly expected. Just don't know how much hope I really got for the Niners at this point. I mean, I know they're 3-1, but it's kind of a fluke 3-1 because they've done absolutely nothing to get there, and they've had easy opponents and stuff. So, decent opponents. And the Niners still ain't really that bad. It's just Purdy's injured and everyone's getting injured again. So, and then Ricky Pearsall is also injured. So this is a really big toll on the Niners. Meanwhile, the Rams though, hey, they knocked off the 3-0 Colts, man. We knew the Rams had it in them. Puka Nacua, bro, he's about to go. He's trying to go for 2,000 yards on the season. Matthew Stafford's going for 4,000 yards passing, honestly. Matthew Stafford's been really excellent this year. Not as many turnovers as he usually throws, and yeah, Matthew Stafford's having an amazing season. Kyren Williams is having a good year, and so is Devontae Adams. He's had some good plays too. So for this game, I am going to take the Rams easily here, 23-16. I was going to take the score a little higher, but I kind of didn't hear about Purdy getting hurt in that before, so I can't really change it. So. But nonetheless, I'm still going to take the Rams. And honestly, Mac Jones has played okay for the Niners, so maybe he'll shock some people and make it closer than what people thinks, I guess. Let's just say that. But yeah, Rams win 23-16. Next game, we got Vikings at Browns. The Vikings. Oh, boy. Well, they traveled all the way to Ireland to play the Steelers, and yeah, they came out with the L. Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson both had an amazing game. Carson Wentz didn't look terrible. I think it was a lot of turf monster stuff, and the Carson Wentz through turnovers and stuff. So the Vikings ended up getting the loss, taking on the Browns though. Which, yeah, Yep, Joe Flacco had his bad game that was expected, and now they're starting Dillon Gabriel. So this should be interesting. So, and Browns fans, let me know what y'all think. Y'all think they should have started Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders? Let me know in the comments, y'all. What do y'all think about that? Nonetheless, I am gonna take Minnesota here because the Browns are just not good. Starting a rookie against that defense is crazy, by the way. So I'm gonna take the Vikings 21-10. I think it's a lower scoring game, but yeah, starting a rookie against that defense, not so ideal. But I am gonna take Minnesota. I think Dillon will look decent at least, but that offense is just still not gonna do it for me, even if he's good. So yeah, Minnesota 21-10. Next up, you got the Raiders at the Colts. The Raiders. Hey, Ashton Jeanty had his first breakout game. He had 3 total touchdowns, 2 receptions, 17 yards, and he had a whole bunch of carries for 130-something yards on the ground with a touchdown. And Ashton Jeanty, man, that's just been one of the biggest problems for the Raiders. One of them is just Geno Smith is just back to old Geno Smith, normal stuff. Like I said, he's assistant quarterback and no one listens. And yeah, he just throws a whole bunch of turnovers and sells. And the Raiders should have won last week, but blocked field goal once again, which has been the whole mortal of the season this year, which is so weird. Taking on the Colts though, which just lost to the Rams. Donnie Mitchell, I think that's his name. Donnie Mitchell has completely lost the game for the Colts. Against the Rams, as he had a touchdown. Everybody just likes dropping the ball before they get into the end zone. So, yeah, Donnie Mitchell didn't get the touchdown, and the Rams recovered it. And I think they scored a field goal after that. So, yeah, Adonai Mitchell costed the Colts that game. But nonetheless, I am going to take, definitely going to take the Colts here. I know Xavier Howard did retire and stuff, but I still think that Colts defense can be solid. And they're playing Geno Smith. He'll find a way to throw an interception at the end, don't worry. I got the Colts 24-13. Next game, you got the Giants at the Saints. The Giants, well, they started Jackson Dart, and I just knew they were going to upset the Chargers. I just knew it. I could smell the upset from a mile away. And they did it. They beat the Chargers, coming with a big loss that Malik Neighbors has unfortunately got injured really bad towards ACL. He's out for the year now. So Wan'Dale Robinson, Darius Slayton, and the other ones are going to have to step up. But I mean, the Giants, this is just, honestly, for the rest of the season, you're just going to find out what you have in your rookie Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart, honestly, didn't look terrible. For a bit, he had some icky plays. He was in there. But running the ball, he was actually really good. So, got to give him props for that. They're taking on the Saints, which, hey, they honestly went toe-to-toe with Buffalo, but still wasn't enough. Like I said, their offense is just bad, and their defense is just not any better. So, the Saints are the epitome of mid and terrible. So, yeah. Now, I honestly was going to take the Saints here to get their first win, but I'm actually going to stick with the Giants. I think Jackson Dart maybe get some back-to-back wins. Honestly, I do think this might be where the Saints get their one and only win of the whole season, just because it's the Giants. But I think the Giants are actually going to come out with a win here. I like their defense more than the Saints, and I trust the Giants. It's just a little bit more with Cam Scatterboo too. He's also developing pretty nice with New York, so I am going to take the Giants. Alvin Kamara hasn't been the same. I think he's splitting carries with that Miller dude. And yeah, Spencer Rattler, you're still your quarterback. Y'all need to switch to Tyler Shook because I want to see what's in him. Pause. But yeah, I'm going to take the Giants here 17-9. Low scoring game just because the Giants don't really have an offense anymore just because of Malik Neighbors getting hurt. But nonetheless, I am going to take the Giants here. Next game, you got the Cowboys at the Jets. The Cowboys, well, they tied against the Packers, having a shootout without CeeDee Lamb, 40-40. And yeah, the Cowboys honestly should have won that game. Yeah, crazy game, just crazy. No defense, all offense. George Pickens ball out. Jalen Tolbert balled out. Everybody balled out on Dallas. Javonte Williams, Dak Prescott balling out. And honestly, I never hated the Cowboys offense. I just didn't think they could probably do it with CeeDee Lamb. But, I mean, at least they tied. I guess that's something for them. But still, taking on the Jets, which, yeah, they lost to the Dolphins. They had some costly turnovers, and that lost them the game, period. So, Justin Fields might actually be the Jets. This is going to be a shot that I'm taking, and I'm going to say it now. Justin Fields might actually be the Jets quarterback of the future. I like what he's doing. It's just New York. New York is the problem, not him. And it's always going to be New York. He hasn't thrown, I don't think he's thrown one interception this year. I think he's fumbled once. So he's thrown 5 touchdowns and he has a ton of rushing yards. So yeah, the Jets, they're still 0-4. I am going to take Dallas here. This should be interesting because Dallas is without CeeDee Lamb still, and everyone just balled out last week. I don't know if they're going to be able to repeat that, so I think this is going to be a little bit closer of a game. I'm going to take Dallas here 20-14. I think something crazy in the end happens. Maybe Justin Fields throws his first end zone interception, trying to win the game. But something like that. Maybe. I don't know. I do expect him to throw at least one interception here, so I think this is where he throws one. But still, going to take the Cowboys because, yeah, I never trust the Jets. And speaking of next game, you got Broncos at Eagles. The Broncos. Yeah, they had a grand slamming against my Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, the Bengals defense is just bad, and their offense can't get nothing going. Speaking more on the Broncos, though, Bo Nix had the best game of the season he has had. R.J. Harvey finally got involved the way he should have. I like how they used him, though. And, yeah, Cortland Sutton had a good game. Defense had a good game. Overall, Broncos had a statement win against, well, I wouldn't say statement because, well, it's Cincinnati. They don't have Burrow, so yeah. But still, the Broncos did pretty good. They won 28-3. Taking on the Eagles, which, hey, Eagles just got it done against the Buccaneers. That's all that matters. Jalen Hurts is just not passing the ball, but this team is still 4-0, which still amazes me. And, yeah. Other than that, I don't think the Eagles should be 4-0. Just going to say that right now. But this is an interesting game here because I really like the Broncos defense, and I think they can make some things happen. This game is honestly going to depend on Bo Nix to see what he can make happen against the Eagles defense. And you know what? Just because Bo Nix had a really good game last week, I'm going to take the Broncos to upset the 4-0 Eagles. I think this is where the Eagles streak comes to an end. I think the Broncos get a W here. This is the upset of the week for me, I think. I'm going to take Denver 19-16, lower scoring game, but I do like what Denver did last week. I think their defense is going to stop the Eagles to a lot. So, yeah, I think the Eagles are going to get stopped defensively from Denver. It's honestly going to be a defensive game, but I think the Broncos can do it. I believe in the Broncos. So, yeah. Next game, you got the Dolphins at the Panthers. The Dolphins, well, another game where he had a big, giant injury on their team. Lost Tyreek Hill throughout the season. He had a dislocated knee, I think. I think he also tore some things. I don't know. Tyreek Hill had a crazy injury. That stuff was graphic. His knee was, like, inverted in a way, and it was bad. So, yeah, so the Dolphins are going to be rocking without him anymore for the rest of the season, and likely forever, because his contract is up at the end, and he looked a little bit too happy when he was in the hospital, or that hospital truck, so. Yeah, taking on the Panthers, which got decimated by the New England Patriots. And, yeah, the Panthers, they're just, I thought there would be some hope, but honestly, I don't even know what it is anymore. I don't know if it's Bryce Young. I don't know if it's the whole coaching staff. I don't know if it's the ownership. I don't know what it is in Carolina, but it's just not been good still, and yeah, I do like Ted McMillan, though. I ain't gonna lie, he's really solid in that. But other than that, this Panthers team, I had expectations. Never gonna have them again for them. I am gonna take the Dolphins here. I could honestly see the Panthers do upsetting here, but I'm not gonna trust it yet. I'm gonna take them in a little bit of a closer game. I'm gonna take the Dolphins 27-17. I think they'll still get the win. I think the Dolphins will have a nice day running the ball against the Panthers defense. And then Tua hopefully can throw it just to Jalen Waddle and Darren Waller. Because Darren Waller also had 2 touchdowns. So that was the highlight of that. So Tua, maybe this is the upcoming for the Dolphins. Even without Tyreek Hill. Ain't going to be enough because he's gone. So, yep. But yeah, I'm going to take the Dolphins here. And next game. You got the Texans at the Ravens. The Texans. Well, they got their first win. Finally, their offense looked decent against the Tennessee Titans. Also winning in a shutout. That defense is really good in that. But their offense has just not been getting things clicking. And they finally kind of did against the Titans. Which, yeah, I believe the Texans. Now you're 1-3. Taking on the Ravens. Which, oh boy. Lamar Jackson had a hamstring injury against the Kansas City Chiefs. He didn't practice Wednesday at all. And yikes. And they said that he might miss up to 4 weeks. So, Ravens fans, it's time to panic. Cooper Rush is going to be playing against Houston. Is it going to be enough? They still do have Derrick Henry, but is Cooper Rush going to be enough for a couple games here, guys? You guys are starting 1-3 too, so last week was a very important game because of this. And they lost it. They're 1-3, taking on the Texans defense, honestly. Cooper Rush is going to really struggle against the Texans defense. And honestly, guys, I'm going to take the Houston Texans to get a big W over Baltimore. I'm going to take the Texans 34-11 because I think this is where the Texans have a breakout game offensively, just because of the fact that Cooper Rush is starting in this game. yeah, I think the Ravens are pretty cooked now. I don't think playoffs are going to be an option here really soon. I think we're going to be talking about, because I think the Ravens are probably going to be like 2-6, 3-5 going into week 8 or something like that, and I don't think that's going to be enough for them. There's too many losses. Maybe they can go in the playoffs 9-8 or something. But yeah, the Ravens, they're in trouble. It's time to panic. If you don't win this game, it's time to panic. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with my gut, and I'm gonna say Houston wins this. I know I hate the Ravens, but this is a genuine prediction here, and I think the Texans are gonna get a big W because, well, their offense has been sluggish for so long. So I think this is where they pick up the slack even more against a Ravens defense that has not been good this season, as well. So, in a Ravens team that's gonna be without Lamar Jackson. So yeah, GG's. Oh, next game, you got Titans at Cardinals. Well, let's hurry up through this one. You got Titans, which did absolutely nothing. They ass. Cam Ward said they ass. So, well. Yeah, the Titans, it's bad. It's bad in Tennessee. Taking on the Cardinals, which they lost to the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football, which, oh boy. Cardinals, they had everything going well for them, and now everything's falling apart. And a lot of people are actually, seeing a lot of people taking Tennessee in this game, which is kind of crazy, but yeah, I don't see that happening. Give me Arizona here. Yeah, give me Arizona 28-10. I think the Cardinals are gonna destroy the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, and also the Cardinals need to go for a running back now because Trey Benson's on IR somehow. So yeah, the Cardinals really need to go for running back after this week. They can do it without running back this week, but because it's the Titans, so they'll get the win this week definitely. But they're in trouble with running back. So yeah, Cardinals get the. Next up, ooh, you have a decent game here. You got the Buccaneers at the Seahawks. The Buccaneers. Well, Baker Mayfield still balled out against the Eagles, not finishing the win though. Didn't have Mike Evans at all. And Baker Mayfield looked decent out there. Just wasn't enough offensive firepower for against the Eagles, which the Buccaneers are still a contender, guys, don't worry. And so status for Bucky Irving is going to be up in the air for this game though, as he sprained his ankle against or sprained foot. He has a foot sprain from the Eagles game, and yeah, taking on the Seahawks, which actually get a big win over the Cardinals. They looked really good. Cooper Kupp had a decent game, I guess. Jackson Smith-Njigba was just that guy, and Kenneth Walker also had a good game running the ball. So that's what really needs to happen for the Seahawks every game for them to even be competitive or decent at all. Which, yeah, that's not really going to happen. And looking at this game, I do actually have the Buccaneers winning here. 26-18. Odd score, but I have the Buccaneers getting the W, and that's all that matters against Seattle. I like Tampa Bay's defense. I like their offense. I think they're better built. I think they're a better built team here versus Seattle. So, well, going to Seattle, but still. Yeah, I got the Buccaneers winning against Seattle. As you get the next game, you got the Commanders at the Chargers. The Commanders, well, they're getting Jaden Daniels back at least. And yeah, the Commanders are going to have Jaden Daniels, their franchise quarterback, back at quarterback, taking on the Chargers, which, yeah, this should be an interesting matchup because the Commanders, well, they lost to Atlanta Falcons, which, I mean, they had Marcus Mariota. Can't blame them for too much, but Commanders, they're kind of in trouble here because they really need a big win over the Chargers. And the Chargers did get upset by the Giants, which Justin Herbert threw some interceptions. And, yeah, Quentin Johnson, though, we got to talk about this dude more. Quentin Johnson's just been balling out this whole season, no matter how bad the Chargers lost last week. They need to get him involved a lot against the Commanders, which I think he's going to have like a 100-yard game, honestly. He's been one of the top receivers in the NFL at this point, which is kind of crazy I'm saying that now. So, at least bro has learned how to play football now, so. Quentin Johnson, starting to believe you, man. But unfortunately, I actually am going to take the Commanders here. I think Jaden Daniels is going to come back slinging that football against the Chargers, who struggled against the Giants. So, unfortunately, I got the Commanders winning 35-14. or not 14, 24, 35-24. And yeah, I think the Chargers will put up points, but I think the Commanders are going to outnumber them in scoring. So, give me the Commanders here against the Chargers. Next game, you got Sunday Night Football. You got, oh wait, actually nope. Next game, you got the Lions at Bengals. The Lions. The Lions. Well, they destroyed the Browns. Not much they had to do there. Amon-Ra, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jared Goff. You know them boys by the eat every time they play a game. So, yeah, nothing new there. They destroyed a Cleveland team that literally has no offense. So, not too special. Taking on Cincinnati, which flew to Denver to kick a field goal. Yeah, Cincinnati. Something's got to change here because we're not going to make the playoffs if we keep doing this every week. Our offense has looked terrible, and our defense hasn't looked any better. And our offensive line also has not looked any better. So, Cincinnati really just need a quarterback change. Just get Jameis or someone, please. Just get somebody, because this game it might get ugly. It really might get ugly. But based off of how this offense has been performing, I got an upset here. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, the Bengals are not beating the Lions. Well, this is my team, and I don't care if I'm crazy. I'm taking the Bengals here to get a big win, 38-34, in a high-scoring affair. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you're crazy for this. Well, guess what? This is my team, and I'm never going to pick against them. So, there y'all go. Bengals win 38-34. Shh. Next game, you got Sunday Night Football. You got the Patriots at the Bills. The Patriots. Oh, boy, the Patriots, though. They destroyed the Panthers, which, I mean, anybody could do that. But the Patriots, Drake May has looked really good. Ramondre Stevenson, they have a decent run game in that. But that defense has also looked amazing, too, as the Patriots destroyed the Carolina Panthers. And I think Stephon Diggs had one of his biggest games of the year so far. So, speaking of that, this is a Stephon Diggs revenge game in Buffalo, taking on the Bills, which the Bills, well, they beat the Saints. They went kind of toe-to-toe with them, but they did enough to beat New Orleans, and they're 4-0, so, yeah. This is actually going to be a really fun game because we get to see this Patriots defense against one of the best quarterbacks in the league and one of the best offenses in the league, honestly, too, as the way they're performing. And, yeah, this is going to be a fun game. We get to see Drake May, Josh Allen. It's going to be interesting here. Now, a lot of people will be taking Buffalo here. But, guys, just because it would make sense and it would be fun, it would be funny, I'm actually going to take the Patriots here to get the W against Buffalo. I think the Patriots have done so well so far. I think they're going to be due for an upset. And the Bills, they're not going to be 4-0 forever. So, I am actually going to take the Patriots here in a shocking win, 20-17 against the Buffalo Bills, guys. I think Stephon Diggs has a big game, and it would just be funny. It would be a funny moment if he does have a big game. So, yeah, there's that. And, yeah, I think the Patriots can have a big game, guys. So I'm going to take the Patriots against the Buffalo Bills. And for the last game, you got the Chiefs at Jaguars. The Chiefs, well, they beat the Ravens, which I took them to do because I thought they would upset the Ravens here. They got Hollywood, or not Hollywood. They got Xavier Worthy back, and he balled out as soon as he got back on the field. So shame on you, Travis Kelce. And yeah, the Chiefs are back to the Chiefs magic stuff. Taking on the Jaguars, which, well, they got a big win over the 49ers. And yeah, Travis Etienne's been balling, though. How about Travis Etienne? Trevor Lawrence, still not sure about. This is honestly an interesting game because it could go either way. If Travis Etienne balls, I think they win. If the Chiefs have that same performance they did last week, Mahomes looked really good, then they're going to win. So I do think the Chiefs are going to win this game, unfortunately. I would hope Jacksonville wins this, but I think the Chiefs are just getting back on track here. So I'm going to take the Chiefs 27-13 and getting back on track here. And that is the end of this video, guys. Hope you guys liked it and enjoyed. Make sure you guys subscribe and turn on the bell to not miss any one of my videos. And yeah, guys, that is the end of these Week 5 predictions. So, guys, make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, peace out.